Good afternoon from the UK. My name's Alan Deval, aka the Mental Health Warrior, and we're here because I need to bring music to Warrior TV. So what better than bringing, for the very first time, Lily Taylor Ward to Warrior TV. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me, darling.
You are most welcome. And also you've got a nickname, Little Lily.
Yes, I have kind of just become known as that from now on. We'll just scrap my surname. It's Little Lily.
Yes. Obviously, we will be talking about why you call yourself that a little later. And obviously, I do have a bio. So we're going to be covering all of that from the moment you sang with Alfie Boe, meeting Prince Harry, singing at the Albert Hall, anything like that.
Yeah, I've been a busy girl, shall we say?
You have. So obviously, for everyone streaming on Facebook and YouTube, please share this in awareness. And any questions for Little Lily? Fire them away. So
go for it. I'm
going to start some quick fire questions for you to get the momentum going.
Love it.
I'm going to start. Are you a night owl or an early bird?
Oh, a night owl. I am the worst in the mornings, trust me. I'm the most grumpiest person you'll ever meet. But night owl, I can stay up all night. I love it.
Okay. Since you like your classical, I'm going to say pop or rock.
Oh, it depends what rock, because I love a bit of Evanescence, but I also like a bit of 80s rock. So I'm like a bit of everything, really. If we're going with pop today, I'm not so keen. If we're talking like noughties, 90s pop, yes. And let's say 80s rock and Evanescence. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. So you're a bit of both?
Yeah, a little bit of both. I'm very eclectic in my music taste. You know, one of my favourite genres is country. I blooming love it. Dolly Parton is my idol. I love her, and it'd be a dream to see her live.
Okay.
I know, very different, isn't it? Very, very different.
I'll connect with you on the I like Amy Lee.
Oh yes, I love Amy Lee. Her voice is just so beautiful, and I did a cover of "Bring Me to Life" in a classical way, and it's just I love that song. I love it. It's so kind of
maybe
I'm a bit weird.
That.
Yeah, well, I'm a bit weird because I like the dark songs. I know it sounds a bit freaky, but I do. I like kind of dark songs that have very interesting messages within them. So Bring Me to Life obviously is about someone who's struggling, someone who needs, you know, that helping hand. And I mean, I've had my fair share of, you know, bits and bobs in life where things don't really go right. And so when I did that song, it was almost like I was wanting to obviously show how amazing and truly talented that Evanescence and Amy Lee was, but also I wanted to put my own story into it. So all kind of the struggles that I'd gone through, I put all of that energy into the song. And I'll have to send you a link, because I think I've sang it on one of my little videos.
Please, send me a link. Send me a link, yes. Or you could sing it live. That's not a problem.
I can do that if you want.
Back to it. Yeah, well, obviously I listen to Evanescence when I'm in self-care anyway. Best sort of music. And the last one, I'm going to say, just to piss my wife off, does pineapple belong on pizzas?
Oh, no.
Thank you. No. More and more saying no. Brilliant.
Dude, it makes it too soggy. And like me, I like a good, you know, I'm a bit of a meaty eater. So I'm a bit of a meat eater pizza. I like, you know, a bit of chicken and chorizo and everything. But no, it just makes it too soggy. And that's not a pizza for me. Nah, sorry.
Pineapple shouldn't exist.
No, I agree.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know, Kerry, it's your question, but I don't care. I'm licking it.
Apologies, Adam, life, but sorry, love.
No. We are being tuned in live from South Carolina as well.
Oh, hello, South Carolina.
And Australia.
Oh, hello, Australia. Do you know, I've got quite a big following in Australia. I've got quite a few people who always comment on my videos from good old Aussie. So how's it going down under?
Yeah, Warrior TV always attracts Australians as well. So
love it.
Yes. So I'm going to start with who is Lily? Like, where is she from? Where did she pop up back from? Everything.
I just appeared. There we go. Out of a snap, I just appeared. No. So my name is actually Lily Taylor Ward. That's my real name. I'm 25 and I'm from Nottingham in the UK. And I suppose it's a bit of a cliche, but I've just always loved music. Apparently, even when I was young, my mum would just play any type of music and I'd be up happy having a bit of a boogie no matter where I was, if it was in the car, at home. I've just always been drawn to songs, and especially when I hear a song and I think, do you know what, that could be something amazing. It already is, an absolutely fabulous song, but that could be something even better. And I suppose you could say I'm just kind of your normal Nottingham girl, really. I have guilty pleasures. I like to watch Towie and Made in Chelsea. At the moment, I'm a bit into Love Island. I do apologise, anyone who doesn't like it, but it's my guilty pleasure. It's how I like to relax. I know, look at his face. He's like, right, let's cut the interview. We're done. Goodbye. But no, that's just me. I think some people kind of, when they see my music, they think that I suppose it's a little bit of a bad thing, but people do kind of have a stereotype of people who do classical/opera. And, a lot of people will come up, and this is no offence at all, but people will say, are you from private tuition? Have you gone to private school? Are you from a very wealthy background? And actually, I'm completely opposite. I went to a normal school. I was very fortunate, and my family have helped me a hell of a lot. They have put all their time and effort and money. We've done it all together, basically. But we are just a normal family from good old Nottinghamshire. So, I am just a normal girl, I suppose you could say.
I've got to ask, since you're from Nottingham, and this will be aimed at my partner as well. Have you met, what's his name? Lab Baby.
Do you know, right, so I've never met him, but I don't know if I did or not. I swear I saw him in town. But when you're a bit nervous and you're like, oh, is it actually him? Because I've had quite a few of those before. Like, I'll be going around town. I remember I was in London once, and we were just walking around the street. It was with my mum and dad. And this lady was across the road, and I was like, I know her. I don't know where, but I know her. So I have this thing. And I was desperate to run up to her. So I started kind of walking a little bit fast. As I was halfway to getting to her, I realised who it was. She was someone off the One Show. And she wasn't even the main presenter. She was just kind of someone off the One Show I'd just seen. So I was like, feeling like I actually had this real connection with her. Like I knew her like one of my friends or someone who I'd have met. No, it was just someone I saw off the TV. So I feel like I have seen him in town, but I've just never been confident enough to go up to him. But I love him. I think he's fabulous. And I think he's done a great thing for Nottingham. He's almost kind of like made it popular again, especially with like his support for Nottingham Forest. Because I've been lucky enough to sing at the stadium. That was amazing. But yeah, I think he's hilarious as well. I just love it. And their relationship is amazing, isn't it? It's just so funny to watch, but you just know how much in love they are. So I haven't met him, but maybe one day, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. So you talked about when you was a little girl. So what was you like as a little girl, like growing up throughout school?
So when I was like kind of toddler, we used to go to Skegness.
Right.
2 hours away from us. It's kind of like the local Skeg Vegas, we call it. Skeg Vegas. And there always used to be like karaoke nights and stuff like that on holiday sites. And apparently I was always like the first one to go up and go, I want to sing. And my top song, my karaoke song when I was 4 years old was Barbie Girl. And I was going to sing it in every single karaoke club.
I think every girl likes that.
I think so. But it was just, the thing was, I've got videos of me and I don't actually know the words. So all I'm going is, I'm a Barbie girl, I'm a Barbie girl, and that's all you just hear. So God bless the people who are actually in the club and watching. I bet they're like haunted now by that song with this little 4-year-old on the stage going, Barbie girl, Barbie girl. So it was always kind of, I was always wanting to be on the stage and always wanted to just entertain people, I think. And my mum said I was always very funny. I was always making people laugh. And I wasn't actually going out to make people laugh. I was just that type of person. I was always very talkative, like I am now. I remember once we were out shopping and this lady just came up to me and my mum and was just like, your daughter is amazing. And I just started having a full-blown conversation with her. And I was only about 6 years old or something. And my mum's just there, you know, holding my hand like, come on, Lily, we need to go. We've got things to do. And I'm just there chatting away. I don't know about the weather, what's happening. And yeah, so I've always been that kind of very people person, I suppose you could say, even from a young age. And then in school, I was always singing. I used to get told off so many times. I remember there was one time at parents' evening, my teacher called my mum and dad in and said, you know, she's doing really, really well in her work and everything, but there is just one thing. You know, her classmates have complained that she does like to sing a lot, and especially when it's very quiet and people are trying to get on with their work, she's either humming or she's either whistling. So I suppose you could say I've always been, yeah, very musical. Like I said, loved music, been drawn to music. It's just been with me since I was a baby. So
yeah. So if you had a bit of advice, feedback right now to all those teachers that could end up in watching this, because YouTube channel's on public anyway, so anyone's going to see it. What advice would you give them?
Oh, what? So from like what they said to me, or just in general? Okay. So do you know what? I loved my teachers growing up. I absolutely loved them. There was one teacher called Mrs. Middleton, and she was a music teacher. And in some way, she really, really helped me with my music, because I was, do you know, I always liked dancing and acting. I never actually liked singing. Well, I liked singing, but I never put it forward, should we say. I never actually did it. And on the Leavers Assembly, I sang Over the Rainbow. And so that was almost kind of like a bit of an opening to music, really, for me. There were lots of things that had happened in the past that I'd, you know, like I said, sang at karaoke. And one of the biggest things, the first time I ever sang in front of my family or my friends, was actually at my nan's funeral. And I was a big lover of my nan. You know, she was my best friend at the end of the day. And I was only 9 years old. And I got asked if I wanted to sing at the funeral. My mum was kind of a bit, I'm not sure about this. You know, she's never sang before. We've never actually heard her. And when I did it at the funeral, everyone kind of came up to me and was like, oh, Lily's not that bad actually. And I got into singing lessons, and I started kind of doing it more at school. So Mrs. Middleton was always kind of a big influence to me. But what I would say to the teachers is, thank you, actually. Just a thank you. I know that's a really bad advice, but I just want to say thank you to them, because even though I was quite annoying and I sang in class, they still supported me, and they still kind of was like, do you know, this is how far they went. So we had a shed built in the playground to put obviously all the toys and stuff away, but there was also like a bit of a platform on the shed, and no one was allowed to go on the platform at playtime except for me, and I kind of used it as my little stage.
Oh,
so at playtime, I was a loner at school. I was a big loner, but at playtime I just kind of imagine myself on a stage or just performing somewhere and just be on this platform, and some of the year ones or year twos would come and sit and listen and, you know, just be entertained by it. So yeah, just a big thank you, because they really did actually see that I had this passion, this love, and they never kind of put me down about it. They actually said to go further with it and pushed it. I remember when I left, you know, when you get asked, what do you want to do when you're older, or what do you want to do in the future? So everyone was like, I want to be a doctor, I want to be working in the police force. I was like, I'm going to be on the West End stage. I know, quite like big-headed, but I just wanted to perform. That was kind of my thing. So a big thank you. And my advice would be, sounds cliche, don't stop believing in what you want to do, you know, because one day you can do it. And I have come so far, but I've still got so much more of my journey to go.
Absolutely.
So definitely. I know everyone always says it, like, don't stop believing, but seriously, if you've got a passion, if you've got a love, just go for it. It doesn't matter what other people think. I've had a lot of times where I've been put down, or people have, you know, called me, but it's that inner strength of that, do you know what, I couldn't think of anything else that I'd want to do. So I just kept going, and yeah, there we go. So
yeah, and as Kerry put, hashtag never quit.
Oh yes, love it.
That needs to get trending, guys. It really does.
Hashtag.
It needs to get trending.
It does.
Get it on Twitter.
Oh, definitely.
So,
But I think, no, just quickly though, but you know, with COVID and everything, I mean, I know a lot of performers and a lot of people in the industry who have stopped because obviously COVID was a really bad time for us. We wasn't able to do any type of live performances. So a lot of people did kind of just say, do you know what, it's not worth it. But like I said, if you've got that love and that passion, and even though it's been a really tricky time, just keep going. Just there are ways around it, and you know, like with Facebook Live and stuff like that, that's what I did, and obviously now people have noticed me and spotted me, and that's amazing. So
yeah.
there are ways.
Yeah, Camille's put, so true. You've got a wonderful attitude. Positive is unstoppable.
Oh, bless you. That's so lovely. Thanks, darling.
And Camille, definitely hashtag wherever you want.
Definitely.
Yeah, let's go back to obviously your nan's funeral. What type of get my words out. Relationship did you have with her?
So, like I said, she was my best friend at the end of the day. She was the one who I would tell everything to. I mean, I lost her when I was very, very young. I was 9 years old. But she was just an absolute fabulous lady. I mean, everyone always used to say when you met my nan, she's like, Mama, you either love her or you hate her, because she just said it how it was. You know, there was no messing around with my nan. It was just, that's it, full stop, to the point. And yeah, we just had this amazing relationship. And I remember we'd gone away. She unfortunately was very, very ill and she passed away in hospital. And it was a few weeks before she passed away, we'd gone away. And I was absolutely obsessed with the musical Phantom of the Opera. Still am. It kind of all started, my mum had a tape in the car. And the music of the night was on the tape, and it was Barbra Streisand and Michael Crawford. And I just kept listening to it, you know, on the way to school and just everywhere we went. Really, this tape would play. But I always used to put on this song, and I used to say to my mum, "Mum, what is this song about? You know, is it from like a TV or is it from film?" And my mum didn't really know. She knew obviously it was Barbra Streisand, and you know, we kind of looked into it and we found out it was from the musical Phantom of the Opera. And that year, the film got released, you know, Gerard Butler and Emmy Rossum.
Yeah.
And so just before we went away, my mum and dad bought me the DVD and was like, look, here you go. You can watch this on the journey we were going to France. Watch it on the journey to go to France and, you know, just enjoy it. I was like, oh, God, I'm so excited. So, you know, I watched the DVD and it actually turned out that the whole holiday, it was, you know, in the middle of France, beautiful weather, absolutely boiling. What did I do? I sat in the back of the caravan watching the DVD over and over again. And by the end of the holiday, I knew every lyric, every word, every musical note. I was just in love because I'd never seen something like it before. You know, I'd heard the music, obviously, but never actually seen the film and the opera and everything like that. I was in love. And so when we came back from my holiday, obviously my nan wasn't very, very well and got rushed to hospital. And I remember just saying to her, Nanny, you know, I've got this amazing film we've got to watch together. And my nan would be like, yeah, we're definitely going to watch it. As soon as I get out, we'll be watching it, Petal, do not worry. And she actually was starting to get better. You know, she really perked up, and I used to go and sing to her at her bedside. And you know, we had this we used to sing Daisy Daisy. It's an old music hall song. Daisy Daisy, give me your answer. So we do all those types of songs, and she was just always a very happy and just lovable person. And then it was about 2 days before she passed away, we just started to see her kind of go down a bit, and then obviously she unfortunately passed away, and it was a big, I'm going to say a big void in my life, because she, like I said, I was a very alone person at school and stuff like that. I didn't really have a best friend or have a group of friends who I used to talk to. So as soon as school would finish, you know, it would be right off to Nanny's and, you know, go and talk about my day and talk about everything else. So it was a bit of a confusing and upsetting time, because I felt like I had no one. I've always been very close to my parents, but my nan was just the person that I always used to talk to. So yeah, it was a sad time, but I do see it as kind of the open book to my journey. Sorry, don't know what just popped up then. An open book to my journey, because if I hadn't sang at my nan's funeral, I probably wouldn't have had the confidence to then go on further with my music. So
Absolutely.
it's a sad time, but I feel like it's a gift from my nan that she's left me to say, look, this is what you're going to do. Don't mess it up. So
Yeah.
I love her. Love her with all my
Absolutely.
heart.
And obviously what Kerry put, she'll be proud of you. She really will.
Oh, definitely. And I know she's always with me when I sing. I feel her, you know, whenever I do a performance or something, I have a little photo with me. And before I go on stage, I kiss the photo. I know she's with me all the time. So,
Brilliant.
yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah, she will. She will. Phantom, I know Daisy, sweet joy that you have a beautiful memory. She's still with you, absolutely. She's with you in spirit.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Yeah. She is. She is.
It is. So, when did you realise you had these challenges growing up?
So, well, at school, it was kind of at the end of year 5, at the end of year 5, you know, I noticed that I was a bit different to everyone else. You know, all the other school kids were like listening to what was in the charts and had to, you know, what was the it song. Whereas me, I wasn't really bothered about that. I was in love with musical theatre and classical music and just everything really. It was just, I listened to songs that I liked, not because they were popular.
Yeah.
So obviously because I was a little bit different, people just kind of saw this as, you're not one of us, or you're not right, shall we say. And so obviously I did get a bit bullied. I got a lot of comments and everything. I think anyone who has an originality, I suppose you could say, has been through negative stuff. So it was obviously like during kind of my last years at primary school, and then when I came to secondary school, I almost tried to reinvent myself. I tried to kind of hold back a little bit. But when it got to, I say, year 8, year 9, we had to start thinking about options for GCSE. And I just wanted to take music, dance and drama. I wanted to do everything. And again, people were kind of noticed I was different, noticed that I liked different things compared to them. And so I got a lot of stick from it. I got a lot of kind of not nice comments and things happened to me. So it kind of knocked my confidence a bit. It kind of made me go, well, maybe I am weird. Maybe I am odd. Why do I like these things, you know? Why can't I just be like everyone else? You go down that road.
Yeah.
You know, why can't I be liked or things? I always struggled making friends because I'd either be too energetic and too like OTT, should we say. I'm a very OTT person anyway. And like now I've learned, you know what? Who cares? I'm a bit like my nan. You either love me or you hate me. There you go, you know. But at the time, obviously, I was younger and you don't think like that. So you just think, well, I want friends, you know, I want to fit in. And it just, it obviously put me down a lot. And so, again, I was alone a lot at secondary school. I did eventually, you know, make friends with people who actually accepted me and accepted my music and everything. And we're still friends now. I absolutely love them to death do part. And I was so lucky to have those people in my life, because actually they're the ones who were like, do you know what? It doesn't matter what anybody else says. Ignore the people who are bullying you. You know, you be you at the end of the day. There's nothing wrong with you at all. There's nothing wrong with what you're doing or what you love. And it was just a relief. And it was like almost like a whew, that massive weight off your shoulders, because forever, how many years, 5 years, I've been walking around thinking that I was weird and that I was odd. So it was just a bit of a relief, actually.
No, nobody's weird. And
I say this now. No, there's no one who's weird, no one that's odd. You do you, and that is so important, especially in this day and age. You know, kids growing up, oh Lord, I mean, it's worse really than what I went through. You know, you see videos on the internet and you're like, just let them be. Why do people have to pick on people for being different? Isn't that more interesting in the world? Wouldn't it be really boring if we were all the same and we listened to the same music and we had the same interests? Oh no, you know, we need more diversity and like
We do.
more people to actually just speak out and go, you know what, this is me. Hashtag Great Showman.
That's why we're on a mission into ending this stigma.
Definitely. It's just too much. Just, do you know what? Obviously, I have been through the whole kind of trying to hide myself and stuff like that. But the day or the minute that you take off that cloak and you go, do you know what? I don't care anymore. I'm happy. I want to be this way. It's the best feeling in the world. It is the best feeling.
Exactly.
So anyone, I'm just going to quickly say now, anyone who feels like they're struggling or anyone feels like, you know, they are different or not, don't listen to those people who are putting you down, because trust me, you are blooming amazing. Full stop.
Absolutely. And we did have a comment at one point. I'm just trying to find it. There you go. Off Sandy G from Australia. When did you start training for professional singer?
Okay, so training started. So I did do singing lessons when I was 9 years old. That was all from my nan's funeral. I kind of, you know, found that love for my singing. And then during my singing lessons, my singing teacher recommended a choir that was based in Mansfield, which is about kind of an hour trip from where I live. I live in San Diego. So this choir was called Cantamus Girls Choir, and it was a classical based choir. And so I did a lot of my training with them. I learned a lot of kind of how to breathe properly, how to actually, you know, make your voice more powerful without putting too much energy into it. You know, a lot of kind of my experience was with them, and that's also how I got to perform as well. I got to travel around. That's how I performed at the Albert Hall. I performed in Birmingham. You know, we went all up and down the country performing to all different types of people. So that was kind of, yeah, a lot of my experience with performing, and actually how, and as well, I was with people who wanted to perform and were like me. You know, they enjoy classical music. So again, it was another confidence boost being with the choir. It was an amazing time. I loved every second of it. And yeah, that was, I think I did that from when I was 11 years old to when I was 16. And unfortunately, I had to leave because I wanted to go to college. And the thing was with the choir, it was very kind of strict. It was, you know, Cantamus was your life. And the thing was, I was kind of straying a little bit because I wanted to do more things outside of Cantamus. You know, I wanted to try different things like musical theatre, for instance. I want that was always in the back of my head. I loved my classical music. I just wanted to try musical theatre. So then I went off to college, local college in Nottingham, studied musical theatre, absolutely loved it for 2 years it was. And then I auditioned for universities and drama schools. And again, that was a really interesting, upsetting journey. I had a lot of no's. I remember, I won't say the actual drama school where I went to, but I remember I went to one of them and they recognised I was from Nottingham. They were like, oh my gosh, you're from Nottingham. I was like, yeah, I am. And they turned around and went, don't worry, we'll soon change that. And I was just like, what? And it was almost like they wanted carbon copies of people. And I thought, this is not the place for me. No, that's not me. You know, I am me. I like who I am. I like how I talk. You know, I'm proud of the fact I'm from Nottingham. So I wanted to go somewhere that actually accepted all different types of people. And I ended up finding a really great university. Loved it. 3 years, absolutely amazing. Got some fabulous opportunities. Got the chance to play Maria in West Side Story. That was an amazing journey. And oh, what a show.
Let's talk about that.
Go on, go for it.
Yeah, but obviously before we get into that, yeah, obviously rejection, it is normal. It is. But the word no as well, that has a meaning as well. It really means next opportunity.
Oh, definitely. I think, again, I was younger. And obviously when you hear that no, and especially somewhere where you put your heart and soul into, you know, one of the places I was absolutely desperate to get into, and it just didn't work, you know. And it wasn't, what I started to think was, oh, it's because I'm rubbish. Oh, it's because I'm never going to get any further. And in the end, it's like, no, it's just because you're not right for that place, or right, exactly. It wasn't the right time for you. That's what you have to think.
Yeah, take it as your gain, but their loss.
Exactly. Completely agree with you.
Yeah.
But yeah, like no's and rejections. So anyone who are doing auditions, 'cause I know there'll be a lot of people, think about September, obviously. I mean, I might be a bit too late, but anyone who's had auditions and had rejection, don't dwell on it. There have been times where I've been like, oh, I really wanted that. It's just not your time at the moment, but don't worry, your time is coming. I have had so many rejections, even now, I'm still getting rejections. I have been constantly writing emails, I've been tweeting, I've been putting stuff on Facebook, and you still get those no's, but it just gives you that little bit of a push to keep going, because all it takes is just one yes. Just one yes.
That's what it is. And Camille's put, have you ever been to New York?
Oh, no, but I want to.
I think we all do.
I want to. And do you know the reason why? Because apparently Phantom of the Opera is absolutely amazing. I mean, I've seen it in the West End, but I've heard, and I think it's true, but the chandelier, for anyone who doesn't know, there's a massive chandelier in the musical, and it's actually used in the production as well. And the chandelier apparently is a little bit lower in every single place. Apparently, I think it's Japan or Korea. It's the lowest. Spoiler alert now, but the chandelier comes crashing down at the end of Act 1. And in London, I think it's like that much from your head if you're in the stalls. And in Japan, it's like that much. But New York, apparently, it's all big and glitzy. And I'd love to go. I'd love to go. Love to. So, no, but it is definitely a place on my wish list.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm going to Carrie! My phone just rang. Your mother wants you.
Do you know, I'm waiting for my mum to ring me and go, what are you doing? What are you up to?
Oh, it is. This always happens. Always.
Same here.
This is why I've got my phone on silent.
I have. I've got it on Do Not Disturb. And don't you ever find as well, you'll have a whole day where you're not doing anything or you're having a bit of a chill, nothing happens. When you've got an actual day of planned things, everybody wants you. You're like, what? What's happened?
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
As well. Have you ever been to Australia?
No, again, another place on my list I'd love to. Sydney Opera House. I'd love to visit there. So where have I been to? Let's have a look. I've been to France, Spain, Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi is lovely. And Thailand. I've been to Thailand. I went there just before I went to university. It was kind of like my little relax before the storm of university came. And also my cousin lives out there as well, so I got to visit my some of my family. But no, I think I love traveling and I've missed it so much. And obviously with COVID, you haven't been able to get out anywhere. So yeah, I'm saving up and I want to go and see all these places. India is one on my list as well. I'd love to see India. Whenever anybody comes back from India, apparently it's just the best experience ever. Best.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, you've been requested to go to Melbourne.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, you've been requested.
I'll come now. I'll be there in a jiffy.
Yeah, and Camille said you'll fit nicely in New York City.
I'd love to. I just think like America. I've never been to America, you see, ever. So it's a completely different world out there, isn't it? So I just love to go and explore. I think I always say this, there's so much more to Nottingham. I love Nottingham, don't get me wrong, but there's just so much more out of Nottingham and it needs to be explored.
There's a bigger world out there.
Definitely. It's a huge world and there's places that haven't even been looked at or explored yet. So I want to go.
Absolutely. So now, where do we go from here? We talked about that film we were doing. Yeah. How is it?
Yeah, it's not. Oh, hang on, you cut off then. What did you say?
That film, like the role you played.
Oh, West Side Story in the production.
Yeah. Kerry, I need to charge you.
I know. I've just looked. Mine's on 1%. It might die in a minute, and yeah, it's connected to the charger. If that happens, I'll quickly get back on my phone. Is that all right? And then I'll.
That's fine.
Yeah. So West Side Story, that was awesome. So we got people from the West End to come and direct and musical direct it. That was absolutely an amazing experience. Obviously at university, you know, we're all dreaming to get roles and job offers. So actually being able to work with the industry stars was fabulous. And getting the part of Maria as well, because I remember going for the audition, coming back, and I spoke.
And there's a phone just gone dead, guys. Don't worry, she'll be back on shortly. I'm just doing it just in time. Just bear with, don't go anywhere. Oh, technology is beautiful, isn't it? It is. It's absolutely beautiful. But hey, it's Monday. This is the best time to actually get it. And Sunday we will, and Camille, we will answer. Lily will answer your questions when she does come back on. In the meantime, please share this in awareness. Let's get the views up on this. Share it on Twitter, Facebook, anywhere. Anyway, let's get these views up in support of not just the Mental Health Warriors, but Lily as well. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please subscribe in awareness. And yeah, and even follow us on Facebook at the Mental Health Warriors. Yeah, so I hope everyone is doing fine. Lily is back. She's coming. She's coming. Oh, she's sideways. Oh, that. You back?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, I'm back. I'm so sorry. I told you it was going to happen. Told you. And you know what? It was even on the charge as well, but obviously.
And while you were taking your break, while you were taking your break having that Kit Kat, we've had some questions for you.
Oh, okay. Go for it. Position my.
Yes, right.
I'm on my phone now. Can you hear me okay? Am I all right?
Loud and clear. Loud and clear.
Right, let's go for it. Go.
But I've got to ask for my question before I get to anyone else's. Is that a tulip behind you?
It's an orchid. Okay, so I have a bit of a story. It's an orchid. Now, I was doing my room during COVID. I had a bit of a decoration. And I've got this chest of drawers behind me. It's just white. And I was like, there's something missing. There needs to be something that's, quite nice and pretty. So I thought, I'm going to buy myself a plant. And I'm going to, look after it every day like a baby. I'm going to make sure that it lives, yada, yada, yada. So got myself an orchid, didn't I? It died within the first 2 weeks. So this is actually a fake orchid, while the real one is trying to grow again. Although it's been taking about a month now, and I think it is actually dead. But it looks nice.
Hey, fake ones are better than the real thing.
I'm just the one. Do you know, I really did try as well. I mean, the thing was, I read that it didn't need watering a lot, so it didn't really need that much attention. But it just the petals were lovely on them, and then just one by one, I just noticed them drop, and I was like, right, we'll get a fake one. We'll stick that one in there. While
you killed a flower.
Yeah, I'm awful. I'm awful with gardening. I love gardens. Don't get me wrong. We've got an amazing garden full of flowers. I would probably murder the whole thing. So, yeah, don't ever ask me to do any flowers or gardening. I'm sorry. I'll try and make it feel better, but don't know if it'll work.
Right, going back to the questions. Obviously, we'll talk about the West Side Story. What part did you play?
So, I played Maria. And she is a young Puerto Rican, I can never say it properly, Puerto Rican girl who has moved over to America with her family. And West Side is set in the 1950s. And it's about these two gangs. It's based on Romeo and Juliet, Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet, but it's set in the 1950s, so it's a bit more modernized version of it. And there's these two gangs, they don't like each other. So there's the Puerto Ricans and the Americans, and they're just all the time, heads butting. And in one of the gangs, there is Tony. He's part of the Sharks gang. No, he's not. He's part of the Jet gang, sorry. He's part of the Jets, who are the Americans. And in the other gang, you've got the Puerto Ricans. And Maria is a part of the Puerto Ricans, and her brother is in the Sharks gang. Now, what happens is, like Romeo and Juliet, one night they have this big dance, and they have this fabulous number called Mambo, and it's amazing. It's like Mambo. But one night they have this big dance that happens, and the gangs, they meet together, you know, they have their own separate little thing. There's a massive line down the middle so they can all keep to their sides. But Maria and Tony notice each other in the room, and it's love at first sight. And obviously, you can kind of guess what happens with Romeo and Juliet. It's pretty much similar. But Maria is a fabulous role to play. She's so just very elegant and classy, but at the same time, you get this really kind of, I don't want to get rid of any reveal any spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen it, but you have to play this very kind of troubled young girl who is living in a world that don't accept you. So in some ways, I've put my own life into when I played Maria, because I've had that where I haven't been accepted and people, you know, don't actually understand me. And so, yeah, it was a beautiful, beautiful role. And if I ever had the opportunity to play again, I would snap it up in a heartbeat, because the music is just stunning. You know, there's before Act 1 ends, there's a song called Tonight, and it's basically all the main characters, they have their own little thing. It's a little bit like One Day More out of Bravo, so everyone has a part to play in it, and it's exactly the same as that. And then at the very end of the song, there's this massive kind of harmony, and I get to sing a top C, which is very, very high, and it's just the music is like so lovely. And I got to sing the song Somewhere, which is a beautiful song, absolutely stunning. So it was an amazing experience, and like I said, I would love to do it again. And just as well, being able to work with industry professionals. I think I just said it before I cut off, but got the chance to work with a musical director and a director from the West End, so it was really nice to kind of see their vision come to life, but also know how they work within the West End and just have that experience. So yeah, an amazing opportunity. So grateful for it.
Brilliant. I'll be back in 5 seconds. I'm closing the window because there's a lot of noise out there.
I love how relaxed this interview is. It's fabulous.
What was that, sorry?
I always get so nervous when I'm doing interviews and stuff like that, because you have to kind of be very like on it and make sure you say a good answer. But I just look so relaxed and at ease. So thank you so much.
You are most welcome. You're not the first to say that.
Really? I love it.
Yeah, I've had a couple of feedbacks that even though I've never met him in person, and it was their first ever interview, it's like, like on LinkedIn, it's like talking to an old friend.
Yeah, it is. I feel like that. I feel like I've known you all my life.
Oh, thank you.
Now it needs to happen. We need to meet.
Sorry. We do. Absolutely. Now, Sandy's, what aspect about music, whether it's singing, drama, theatre, radio, etc., that you enjoy the most?
Ooh. Do you know, actually, I think it's making the story come to life. And I feel like if it's acting, if it's song, or even if it's dance, everything has a story. It has a meaning for it to happen. And actually finding your own take on that story is a really lovely thing, because obviously you still want to stick to the roots of what that performance is about, but you also want to put a little bit of yourself into it. You know, you don't want to be a carbon copy of someone else's. So find that kind of spark within something. And let's take, for instance, a song. You know, like I said, life, it was things that I'd listened to it, you know, since I was young. But there's just like that one day you listen to it again, you actually listen to the words and you go, do you know what? I finally understand what that song is about.
Yeah.
And I want to put it my own way. You know, there are so many songs that I've listened to. You listen to them, but then you actually listen to them and you're like, wow, this is almost like a big pop in your head. Like, I understand that, and I can relate to that song even more than when I was younger. And we've got a friend in the room now. My cat's just joined me. Come here. Otherwise, she's just going to jump away. Hello, everyone. This is Lulu. Go in a minute.
Hang on.
Are you going to say hello? Oh, say hello, Lulu. Hello. I love it. Yours actually says hello. Mine's just like no.
There you go.
What's her name?
That's Minnie.
Oh, I love it. Hi, Minnie. This is Lulu. Lulu's just going to sit on my lap. You're probably just going to see his tail flick up and down. So
My partner will be smiling right now because she's crazy cat lady with the amount of cats we've got in this house.
Me too. I'm crazy cat.
Oh, she should have taken this interview.
So, although I did upset her at the start, but hopefully I've made it better now, because I said about the pineapple, didn't I? I'm not on pizza. So now we're best friends again. No, I love cats. Sorry. I love any animal. You know, I love dogs, but I just feel like cats, they're my spirit animal. Sorry.
I prefer my reptiles.
All reptiles good. Do you know, I always wanted a leopard gecko when I was younger. Never got one. And I know that I'd probably...
I've just come across a comment. Obviously, apparently, I'm annoying off camera. Oh, well. Hey, it's what you see is what you get. Can't care. She put, no, she doesn't like pineapple, but yeah, we're friends again now.
Yes! I got you, girl.
Yeah.
Love it, yes!
Oh, come on, guys. We're not talking about cats in the comments. Come on. No. We're not talking about cats.
Little section about cats, because I could talk about them till the cows come home.
Well, I know in a few weeks, I think it is, my partner's actually put this in the diary. It's National Cat Day. So, I don't know. Kerry, when is it? Put it in the comments. National Cat Day.
I love my cat.
No, but she just said she needs to do a podcast about cats and she'll lead it, yeah. So we need to bring you back for that.
I did sing Memory, which is from Cats, the musical by Angela Weber. And, you know, I can always just throw that in quickly and then talk about cats. There you go. I would happily.
Oh, for God's sake.
She's just sat on my lap now, just literally like, yeah. Just you, I think. Look at your face. You're like, no, I'm not having it. Oh, bless
8th of August. 8th of August.
Right, that's going in my diary as well. It's going down.
8th of August, National Cat Day.
Lulu's actually just poked her head up as if to go, oh, is it my day? Yes.
I admit they are good for self-care.
Oh, very. Do you know this one? And do you know what? I'd say this a lot, and some people don't believe me or believe the actual comment itself, but pets really do help just in general. I mean, I've had a lot of kind of mental health problems and stuff, and this one has been a godsend. I always say she's an angel sent from heaven, because you know when I'm like feeling down or like I'm ill or something, she'll not leave my side. She really won't. And it's almost like to say, I'm here, don't worry, you don't have to do this alone. So whatever you believe, I'm just, I think she's an angel and that's an amazing.
We now have a problem, our first problem on Warrior TV. 8th of August is UK's National Cat Day, but in America it's October the 19th.
Well, then we're just going to have to celebrate it twice. Full stop. Oh, it was lovely to meet you, Adam.
Kerry, you're busy.
Oh, bless you. Oh, she's off. She's gone.
Yeah, well, Minnie was with me 30 seconds ago. She's upstairs now with Kerry, so yeah.
Oh, bless. No, she's gone. She's gone. I think it's because she's heard the door go. I think my mum's just popped back. So she's like, food time.
So, back to reality.
Let's go back, yeah. Rewind.
Let's talk about your time at Lidl.
Oh,
Of how you was branded with Little Lily.
well, so let's go back to university. So after university finished, you have these things called a showcase, which is basically at the very end of the year you get to sing a song. All the students that have been at the university get to sing a song, and they invite agents and management from all over to then take you on. Unfortunately, I wasn't successful, so I decided, you know what, London's a bit expensive for me, so I'm going to hot foot it back to Nottingham and get a part-time job. I mean, during university as well, I was still working because every weekend I used to come home to Nottingham and I used to do private bookings. So I used to sing at events and bookings and everything like that. And that was actually how I funded my university days. I wasn't one for going out that much. I'm not really a big drinker anyway. I don't like alcohol. So I kind of skipped that, student life, shall we say, and I just carried on working. So I used to come home at the weekend, I'd sing on Saturday night and then go back home back to London on the Sunday. So I finished university, didn't get anywhere with kind of auditions or management and whatnot. So I thought, you know what, I need to get home. I need to have a part-time job and just focus on kind of my bookings and events and just trying to get myself out there by that way. So down the road from me, local Lidl, I thought, do you know what, let's give it a go. And I got the job straight away. And I've been working there now coming 3 years. Wow. And that has actually helped my career really, because the thing is, I love what I do. I love my music. I love my bookings and events, but it's not always consistent. It's, sometimes, imagine Christmas is always absolutely chaotic. Yes. I have a booking nearly every day coming up to Christmas. It's always like that. But I always say kind of from February to March, they're kind of the low months. You don't really get a lot of people. Probably Valentine's Day, but because it's kind of cold and people don't really want to go do things, they're very quiet. So obviously I needed, some money. So I got Lidl because it was consistent work and also it's just down the road from me. It was just, it was easy to work there part-time while still doing my bookings and events. Fast forward to 2020 and obviously COVID happened. Now, what would happen in, I think it was February, I looked at my diary and realised I was fully booked for the rest of the year. And I actually thought, wow, do you know what? This might be the right time for me to actually leave Lidl and just focus on my singing, because I might be able to actually get through the year, not needing any extra help. So I could just focus on my singing. So I spoke to my mum, like, do you know what? I'm going to think about actually leaving Lidl. And she said, do it. You might as well. Just go for it. Go for it. And then obviously the big C word came, didn't it? And I just remember receiving phone call after phone call, emails, and my diary just went boom, 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 and every event just got cancelled. And it was almost like that weight was back on again, because I felt so. I love Lidl, don't get me wrong, it's lovely to work there, but obviously I don't want to work there all my life. I'd love to take my music further. So it was like that open gate for me, like, yes, I can do this, I can go. And then it was just like, nope, no, carry on. And I am so grateful for that job, because if I had left before COVID, I would have been struggling a lot. I had nothing. So I carried on. I said to my boss, is it all right if I can up my hours? And he was like, definitely, because we need the help, because everyone was going mental at the time. We ran out of toilet rolls, we ran out of pasta, soup, everything. It was crazy to work during.
And that's what I don't get. Why riot? Why panic buy?
What made me laugh though is people were buying all these products, yet the delivery at the time, they were better, they were on it. So we were getting deliveries every day of loads of things, and yet people were still going crazy. We had so much stuff in the back, but then toilet roll went, and the deliveries couldn't catch up with it. So then it was like, you kind of caused not being able to have enough products in the shop, because what was happening is we were obviously doing product counts, and when we noticed there was nothing left, deliveries were like, well, we're not going to be able to get this to you by so-and-so date and stuff like that. So it was just like the world was ending. Everyone kept saying it, but it was like, is there something I've missed here? I mean, I know that we're in like a pandemic and things are happening, but what is actually happening right now? It was crazy, absolutely crazy, and a really hard time to work through. And a lot of the times as well, during my shift, I'd be on the doors, because we don't have a security guard at Lidl, so we had to do it with everyone who worked there. The customer assistants had to help out. So a lot of the times I was on the doors, and obviously the government brought in the rule of one person per household, and that was really blew my mind, because you had people just literally screaming at you in your face. I had a guy spit at me just because I couldn't let him in with his girlfriend or his other half, just, so they couldn't shop around together. And I was a bit of a naughty one, because I used to say to people, well, look, if you kind of separate yourself in the line, I then don't know that you're together, and, you could do it that way. So I was trying to help people that way, but no, people were very nasty. I had it once where I had to swap over with one of my colleagues, and this big family had come to do a big shop, and I said, look, I'm really sorry, but obviously the government have brought in the rule that it's only one person per household. I can allow you to come in at the very end to help packing away, but I can't let you go in the shop and go around together. And the guy who was within the family just basically chucked his trolley in the middle of the car park and just walked off. So there were cars obviously trying to go round parking, and there was just a trolley in the middle of the car park, and everyone in the line was just like, what on earth? Because the thing was, he then went, oh, I'm going somewhere else. I said, well, it's everywhere. It's not just Lidl. It's everywhere we're doing it. Even the big supermarkets. But, some people just did not understand at all. Don't get me wrong. I'd say 90% of people were lovely. And I got chatting to them in the line, and, they were saying, we're all in the same boat. We're all in the same storm. We've just got to deal with it. But obviously you do get that handful of people who are just, they don't care and just make life hell. So it was a struggle. It was a big struggle during COVID. And I think anyone who worked in the supermarket industry, anyone who worked in retail, big clap to you, because I'm only one of the people that all of us were working. No matter what supermarket you worked at, we had to work hard and keep people going, Yeah. So I out to anyone who had to work in that industry during COVID, because it was, one of probably the biggest tasks of my life, a very tricky task. So obviously we had to deal with that. But then came along Thursday night Clap for Carers. And during lockdown anyway, I had started to do live videos on my Facebook, because quite a few people were asking, can we do a bit of like a concert on Facebook? I said, you know what? Yeah, let's do it. Let's do a concert. So it was Thursday night, and I actually, it's quite bad of me, but I didn't get the dates right. I thought it was the week after it was starting, but it was the day that I was doing my live concert that it was the Clap for Carers. So I timed it that I would finish my concert at 8 o'clock and then live on Facebook, go outside on my street and do the clap. So it came to that, and I can't remember which song I finished on now. Oh, Raise Me Up. Was it Raise Me Up? I can't remember which song it was off the top of my head. But anyway, I went to my street and I was still my song. And obviously the music was downstairs playing. So I literally just took my phone and sang a cappella outside. And all my neighbours were on the street like going, yeah, woo, go the NHS. And I finished singing the song, and all my neighbours like, yeah, go Lily, la, la, la. And obviously when we finished the clap and I'd finished the concert, a few of my neighbours said, are you going to do this every week? I said, what? Come outside? And they was like, yeah, you should sing every week. You should do it. Show your appreciation. I thought, you know what? Yeah, that's a good idea, that is. So the following week, I wasn't at work, sang outside my street, and, everyone loved it again, really enjoyed it. But then the next week, I was scheduled to work. So I had to explain to my neighbours, look, I'm really sorry, I'm not going to be able to do it this week because I'm working at Lidl. But I had a little word with my boss and I said, you know, I was wondering, would I be able to go live on Facebook for my neighbours to see me sing, because it's kind of a bit of a thing we started, that I go outside on the street and start singing. And my boss was like, yeah, I don't see why not. Yeah, pop outside, have a bit of a sing, and then obviously come back to work. So went live on Facebook on the Thursday. And like I said, it was just for my neighbours really, but anybody could watch. And I just started to notice there were a few people that were popping on, just from all over really, you know, the UK. And after I'd finished going live, I had quite a few comments saying, are you going to be doing this every week? And it was almost like, well, yeah, I want to do this every week, but I didn't realise how much, you know, publicity I was getting from it. So I thought, yeah, all right then, yeah, let's do it for everyone. You know, it doesn't just have to be for neighbours, let's do it for everyone. And over the time, I started to get the name Little Lily. You know, people were like, are you going to be singing tonight, Little Lily? And they'd come into the shop and say, are you singing tonight? I'd be like, yeah, I'll be on 8 o'clock. Do not worry, you can come on down or watch it on Facebook, whatever you fancy. And it just started from that. Yeah. Then fast forward to about May or June, people stopped doing the clap. So I announced it was going to be my last clap. I think I sang Nessendormer. I said, you know, thank you so much for your support over the following last couple of weeks. It's been so lovely to sing for you all. And yeah, just hopefully now things are going to get better, as we all thought they were going to. Obviously it didn't. And so I started singing again. And I had so many messages. And one message that sticks out into my head now is I had a message from a gentleman. And he messaged me and said, you know, thank you so much for singing every week. Unfortunately, I lost my wife due to COVID. And I've been very kind of isolated. I haven't been able to see anyone. I've just felt really alone. But watching your videos and listening to your songs has really uplifted me and actually made me feel so much better and made me want to carry on in life. You know, I wanted to do good for me and also for my wife. And just reading that message, I thought, you know what, this is something a bit bigger than just an appreciation clap for the NHS. This is actually something that people enjoy and have looked forward to. And it's almost helped them through these very, very difficult times. And so then it became, a weekly upliftment for so many. And more and more people started watching. I had people overseas, Australia, America. I had China watching. So many people just started to watch my. And it got to the point where overall my videos had reached over millions of views and gone to so many different countries. And it was just like, wow, I can't believe that just 10 minutes every Thursday night is what people wanted and made them feel so much better. And for me, it was a beautiful feeling to know that we've gone through so much rubbish and so much, you know, heartache, and just those 10 minutes something to someone and that they enjoyed it. And just reading the messages and the comments was so lovely, because it was just like, I'd have comments like, I've had a really week, I've been feeling really down, I'm really, you know, alone, I've been struggling, but you've helped me. You put a smile on my face tonight just by hearing your voice. And just seeing those messages and comments, you know, helps you as well, because I was at a position where I didn't know if I was going to continue with my singing. I'd said earlier about performers who had stopped. I was one of them. You know, I'd come home from work and wouldn't know how long COVID was going to go on for, or the lockdown. And I'd sit there and go, do you know what? Is it worth it? Should I keep going? Am I going to get anywhere from this? So I was one of those who didn't have a lot of belief in myself, but reading those comments, knowing that people actually enjoyed my music, it then gave that big oomph to just carry on. And that's what it was like. You know what? I'm not just singing because I love it. I'm singing because I know so many people rely on me to give them a bit of happiness, you know, during these times. And from then onwards, it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger until one day I had a phone call from ITV. And yeah, that's when I met lovely Alfie Boe and Michael Ball. So that was incredible. So
Absolutely.
that was it was amazing. So I'll quickly tell you, I mean, quick one. But ITV called me and they said they were doing a program at Christmas. And obviously, usually they do like a big carol concert, but this time they couldn't really do that because people can't be together because of COVID, you know. So what they said is they wanted to do this big carol concert, but include celebrities and famous people to come and sing. And, you know, it was something to look forward to for Christmas, something for people to watch and just to kind of forget about COVID, just enjoy Christmas. But in the meantime, they wanted to do a bit of a theme and include people who had made a difference during the pandemic. So there was a gentleman who had been skipping to raise money for the NHS. There was another guy who was a headmaster from Manchester who had been delivering food parcels during lockdown to families and people who were struggling. And then there was little old me. So they kind of decided that they wanted the three fundamental things in life that you needed to live. So you had exercise and fitness, you had food, and then they decided music and entertainment. So it was, we covered all three of those. And they came to San Diego. They did a big filming. They filmed outside Lidl. They filmed in my garden. And, you know, they interviewed me and asked me what had happened. And it was almost kind of, when they rang up, I thought, yeah, I don't think this is, you know, because during the pandemic, during when I'd gone live, I'd had quite a few phone calls anyway from BBC, from ITV This Morning, but I just never heard back from anyone because I think at the time there were a lot of announcements happening. So it was almost kind of like the announcements were obviously a bigger thing and I was kind of put to the side. So, yeah, so I had all these phone calls and emails saying, you know, we want you on our programs and stuff, but nothing ever went further. So when ITV called, it was like, okay, yeah, I'll do it, don't worry, but didn't really expect anything. And then when they came and filmed, it was like, oh, this is actually happening, this is real. And then 2 weeks later, I went to Manchester, a church called St. Elizabeth, and I got to film. And I was the first one to do my filming. I sang In the Bleak Midwinter. That was my lovely Christmas carol. I got to sing in the church. And then, so just quickly before I started singing, this is how I met Alfie. So obviously I'd never done a big filming thing before. I'd never done like a big TV thing where they had cameras and everything. So it was very different to just doing a live performance. So when they were kind of setting up everything, I was, you know, stood in my position, getting ready to sing. And they were like, right, we're just going to take 5 minutes just to make sure the cameras are in position, you know. So I was just kind of like getting myself in the zone, doing a quick warm up, la 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 la. All of a sudden, from the corner of my eye, I saw this guy kind of come out from this door. And he just went, hiya, hope you're all right. Just wanted to let you know you're going to do absolutely amazing. My name's Alfie, by the way. Cannot wait to meet you afterwards. And obviously, I'm just kind of trying to get into the zone and everything. So I just kind of waved at him and went, oh, hiya, lovely to meet you too. And then the penny dropped.
It clicked.
It was Bo. And I went, oh my goodness, I've gone starstruck. I'm so sorry I'm acting like this. It's amazing to meet you. I'm a big fan. I'm going to shut up now. And he just kind of laughed and went, I'm so sorry. I probably just, you know, completely knocked you out of your zone. I just wanted to say hello. And it was lovely. Absolutely lovely. So down to earth. I did my filming. And then afterwards, he took me to the side and was like, come on then, let's have a bit of a chat. And we had like a 20-minute chat. Just, you know, so lovely. Because he started his career by doing working men's clubs. And also kind of like social clubs. And I've also done that as well growing up. So it was quite nice to talk to him about our similarities of how to get into the industry. And obviously he was spotted while he was working. And he gave me a lot of pointers and tips. And, you know, he was also someone who said, just keep going. No matter what happens, keep going. Just keep pushing through. Get there, you will. And he was like, you've got an amazing voice. You've just got to keep going at it. And I was just like, thanks.
Well, all I've got to say is thank you for coming on.
Oh, bless you. No worries. I'm sorry I'm a talker. We'll probably have to do another part 2 or something.
We will, absolutely.
No.
Now, I've got to say thanks to everyone tuning in as well. Wow, I'm already starstruck right now. But yeah, it's been an absolute honour having you on, Lily. It really has.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, Adam. And thank you for all the questions, all the lovely comments. To everyone who's watching, just bless you all. Thank you. And if you do want to hear me, or, you know, not talking, but singing, Lily Taylor Ward on Facebook. Go and check me out.
Absolutely. Well, if you want to end the show singing, then that's more than welcome. That's up to you.
Should we do it? Let's do it. I'll tell you what, I'll do the last bit of Summer. Let's do that. Okay.
So before we do that, all I've got to say is tune in the next 15 minutes where I will be live again with Joanne Thompson. So on that note, over to Lily.
All right, here we go. Alba vincerò, vincerò,
Brilliant.
Oh, thank you, Dan.
Please share this and let's get this word out. You're most welcome, Lily. You're most welcome.
Okay. Right. Oh, thank you, Adam. Thank you for having me on the show. I hope everyone enjoys the rest of the day. Mwah! Lots of love to you all. Thank you.
Bye.